All right, guys. Today I'm gonna hit you with a banger, and we're gonna do a recap about last night's fight with David Benavidez headlining and Tank Davis. Welcome to another episode of Ring Walk Boxing Podcast. I am Bean. And like always, we're going to jump right into the mix of this boxing and talk about a recap of last night. It was definitely lit if you're a true boxing fan like I am. I got myself together with a couple cousins, and like we do what we can, and we had a good time. So you had David Benavidez versus Gvozdyk. I never knew who Gvozdyk was until last night. I knew who David Benavidez was. So being that I wasn't so privy to Gvozdyk, I kind of studied him last night. Good footwork, like the typical guy that comes out of Ukraine. He has a good foot movements. He gets himself out of trouble when he was in the corner a lot. But David Benavidez was able to negate a lot of his speed. He was going to his body a lot of left hooks, right hooks to the body and midsection of Gvozdyk. Gvozdyk was sticking jab, and his best friend was his jab. However, David Benavidez was able, because he's pretty much about the same size, arm length, height, David Benavidez was able to unload a fury on him round after round and able to edge pretty much every round. If I said out of 12 rounds, I would give David Benavidez at least 9 rounds, maybe 10. So it was pretty much a unanimous decision. And if you looked at the fight, there wasn't no controversy. I mean, you pretty much saw David Benavidez taking aim and just taking over that fight and doing what he needed to do. At the same time, that was his first fight at the 175-pound division, a light heavyweight. He usually fights at 168, which is the same weight class as Canelo. So, of course, that's in question. Will we ever see come to fruition Canelo versus David Benavidez? What do you think? In the comment section, comment below if you think we will finally get to see David Benavidez versus Canelo, the legend. Something we all look forward to as fans. Everybody's been asking about that. And David Benavidez has always been calling out Canelo. Also on that same card, the main event. The main event was very, very good. Frank Martin, shout out to you. He did a good job. He did a lot of back foot fighting, far as being very technical with his footwork, his lateral movement, his pivots, his quick hands. He's a southpaw as well. So he was able to touch up Tank Davis quite a bit with his jab and things like that. That kind of had Tank downloading what he was doing round after round. So Tank probably gave away about 4 rounds. But eventually, once his corner saw that it was like round 5, round 6, they're telling Tank in so many words, press on the gas, man. You got to go. We got to win the rest of this fight, because if it goes to the scorecards, you'll end up losing if you don't win out all these rounds. But Tank, being who he is, like a smaller version of a Mike Tyson, he amped up, was able to put pressure on Frank Martin, get him against the ropes, which that's something that Frank Martin said that his coach, Coach James, said, stop doing. Stop getting comfortable. Stop leaning on the ropes and backing up like that. Well, he kept doing it. And unfortunately, he paid the price for it. There was a couple of times where he was in that corner, and Davis is just swinging with all his might. All 135 pounds of him is behind his punch. And he caught him with a sneaky uppercut up against the ropes that had him stunned and perplexed. And then he followed up with a crazy left hook to end the night. And down goes Frank Martin. So it was a 8th round KO by Tank Davis, which keeps him at about a 93% KO ratio, very, very high. Of all his opponents, maybe only 2 of them have went all the way the distance. Everybody else, you get the picture. So, what do you think about the Frank Martin versus Tank Davis fight last night? Comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you thought about these two gladiators. And do you think it was more or less a situation of Tank Davis being more experienced, been boxing since he was a youth, and Frank Martin starting later in his career, learning, doing good for what it was. But I think that it's just something about these guys that have that amateur pedigree and things of that nature. They just have a certain mental edge and a ring IQ and adaptability. It's like a second nature versus somebody who's trying to catch on later on. So let me know if you think that's neither here nor there, or doesn't matter. Because some people say yes, some people say no. Evander Holyfield said it matters being young in the sport and coming up through the rankings and the amateurs and different divisions, cruiserweight to a heavyweight, whereas somebody else steps in at the age of 18, So let me know, does it matter if a fighter has experience as a youth and it's instilled at a young age coming up, or somebody who steps in a little bit later? Or name drop some people in the comment sections, some fighters, where it was a fighter who started late who was able to beat a fighter who had more experience at a younger age. Like, name some different people that you can think of in the comment section. Let's do something a little different. So as always, hit the bell notification. Very, very important. Tell a friend or two to subscribe, please. And hit that thumbs up button. And as always, I'll catch you on the next round. Peace.